now. Hi everybody. I'm just waiting for my co-host so we could start this wrestling talk. You know, today we kind of suffered a big loss in the wrestling community. Sad loss anyway. Maurice, did you get my invite? I see you here. Let me try. Alright, I invited you already. It's not gonna do it. Jersey City didn't get hit too hard. For my fellow New Yorkers who... Maurice, what's up, man? What's going on? You can request to join my live as well, in case, you know, you're having trouble with the invite. What's up, Black Dragon? How are you today?
I'm doing well. Tried to join in on my laptop. Had to switch over to the phone, but it appears to be working. You can hear and see me well?
I hear it's kind of funny with the... It's just these social medias, my God. All the fixes and the redos they do, and they're constantly changing it, and it doesn't seem to work any more proficient.
Absolutely.
What's up, everybody? You already know, it's your favorite Jedi, BMF Goddess. I'm here today with my returning co-host, Black Dragon, also known as Maurice Jones, professional wrestler. Today is just going to be one of our wrestling talks. Maurice is going to tell us a little more about his career and pro wrestling life. And I just want to start off by having a small moment of silence. We lost somebody, we lost a professional wrestler today to suicide. Her name was Daphne Unger, and her last moments were actually captured on her Instagram live. I'm gonna just show you guys a clip real quick. Let's see, she was obviously crying for help, and
I really hope that she's got friends to get on her or families to get on her.
so she got kind of really distraught on her live. I have friends who were actually on the live at the time that she was streaming, and it's pretty freaking sad. I mean, I don't judge those who suicide in general is often looked down upon. But, you know, I don't judge those people, because in order to be in such a, you know, state of anguish and feel there's no other way, you know, to, no other way out of that anguish sucks.
Yeah, I think all of us have, at one point in our lives, have been close to, or at least mentally, somewhere in that near point. All I can say is that anyone, if you're ever feeling anywhere close to that, just reach out to someone. Reach out. Just try, because you're not alone, and other people have gone through things. And also and check in with your friends. You never know what somebody's going through. Somebody can have a smile one day and be really going through a tragedy. Just reach out and just talk to people. Even if you feel like you have no one to talk to, reach out to someone different. Hell, reach out to me. If you're ever at that point, just talk to someone, because life is valuable. And check in with your friends, because sometimes you never know.
Right, especially during these times of, you know, pandemic, and the whole world is a little bit, you know, off key, or a lot. Everything's going on. Rest in peace, baby girl. My thoughts and prayers go to her family. And for all the fans that it did hit hard, I have some friends who were like really emotional about it, and So, how you doing today, Maurice?
I am okay. The last 24 hours were weird. We were not prepared, especially out here in New York, for how heavy this storm was, because I saw some people were just like, oh, it's not going to be no big thing. And then people's cars were floating away. Like, that's crazy. But also to think we take for granted. We felt the aftermath of it. Imagine some of the places that felt the full brunt. Like, there were certain stations that were underwater. You had, cabs just price gouging $200 to get from Brooklyn to Manhattan. Like, crazy.
Insane. I'm glad most everyone I spoke to is okay. It's just a lot of property damage. And, New York, we're known for being, toughest, concrete jungle. Anyone who survived here can survive anywhere, but we are not accustomed to this type of shit. So no, we were not prepared, and it's still fucking weird to see this type of shit happen here. So,
But remember, global warming is a myth,
Exactly. I was just gonna say, right? Save the fucking planet, because you motherfuckers think it's a joke. The reason this shit is happening is apocalypse weather, man. It's crazy.
Oh, I saw my son Joe Smooth get a shout out to Black Mafia, one of the most successful tag teams in all the BWF. Shout out to Joe Smooth.
Thanks everybody for being here. You already know the deal. If you have a question or comment, please write it below. We will, answer live. So you know what, Maurice, I want you to do this again. If you could just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about your pro wrestling career.
Sure. So I am the Black Dragon, the longest reigning and eternal BWA Pride Champion, former multi-time CWE Tag Team Champion, BWF Tag Team Champion, one of founding members of the Black Mafia, and former owner of NGW New Generation Wrestling. I started like everyone else, with friends, saw something on TV, looked cool, had a passion for it. I actually did a little bit of amateur wrestling in high school. Started to slowly transition over to pro, but wrestling schools were very expensive, so I did what I could. But once I finally was able to get into the ring, it felt like home, and I just didn't want to leave. And then I was actually a big fan of Kurt Angle from the Olympics. So when I saw him transition over to pro wrestling and him just attuned to it, it definitely helped me and put a battery in my back to do the same. And I've been around, all over the tri-state mostly, then spread out to the East Coast. And then I wanted to be from in front of the camera to behind the camera, so I actually got the awesome opportunity to start a very successful small wrestling company in New Generation Wrestling. And it just gave me a perspective, because people see wrestling as a fan, then people see wrestling as a performer, but seeing it as a business is a total different ball game. And I was in charge of talent relations. So when people had beef because somebody stiffed somebody, I was the guy to resolve it. When someone dropped somebody from a catch, I was the guy to solve it. When I needed to scout somebody and I saw somebody maybe wrestling somewhere and wasn't getting the appreciation that they deserved, and I see there's a bunch of talent in this person, why is this person just jobbing out places? That was my job. So it was a headache, but I loved what I did, because I gave opportunities to people who didn't have opportunities and set up something and gave people shots they didn't get. So that was pretty cool.
Mike said bring back NGW.
Easier said than done. Nothing's impossible, but you never know. You never know. I'll put it that way. Oh, I see the homie Quinn, Mark Quinn in the building. What's going on, man? You still owe me one. Remember, private party in the house. Love to see that.
Sweet. So, what is it? What career goals do you have for yourself for wrestling? Do you wanna go back to the booking and stuff?
There's still just so many avenues. Still not sure. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of everything and then just go with the flow what comes. I actually have I wanted to actually wait here. The date is not set in stone yet, but there are a couple of matches for me coming up in the East Coast. So I wanted to give the Goddess the exclusive on that. So working on that. Excited about that. And also might have some opportunities behind the camera as well. So I'm going to just do a little bit of everything and take what comes.
Fuck yeah. I support that. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the wrestling world. I know there's been a lot of speculation about AJ Lee and CM Punk has been back. How do you feel about that, period?
So,
return.
You have to respect the impact that it had. Everybody paid attention to it, so it moved the needle. So almost as the behind the scenes, it made sense. Why would you not? In front of the scenes, we have to see, because again, he's getting older, so it has to be done right. It has to be used the right way. I wouldn't use him as a full-time performer, but he moved the needle. He gets you eyes, he gets you notice. He's a showcase. Use it. Why would you not? But just be careful, done the right way. It's absolutely worth it. It's a no-brainer. Do I see AJ Lee coming back in ring? I doubt it. Would I see her on TV? Probably. If you cut the right check, you'll get her there. But I can see her maybe as a guest spot or something. Do I see her back wrestling full time? I see her doing too many out of the ring opportunities and making enough bread without putting her body on the line. I don't see it. Would it be cool? Absolutely. Is it money in it? If I could book it, why would you not? I don't see it coming, but is it value in it? Absolutely. You see one place losing people, starting from scratch, and people like bleeding out like water on the ground at the train station, and you have another one having new opportunities, bringing people in. So you got to make the most of it.
Right. He actually, CM Punk actually confirmed to the New York Post. He said he said not so fast. He shut down the idea of Lee, 34, returning when asked if she was interested or him being if she was interested in being around wrestling again. Punk said, I would have to say no just because of her neck. The reason she stopped wrestling is because of her neck. She got a bad neck, I wouldn't want her to jeopardize her health, and neither would she, so we'll put an end to that rumor right now. So I don't think it's happening anytime soon, and in the future, probably, sprinkle her here and there.
Yeah. You can't play around with your neck. You don't want to be in a wheelchair to have a 5-star match. The math don't add up.
It's not worth it. No, absolutely not.
But as a worker, I get it, because sometimes when you're in there, when the crowd's going, either against you or for you, you feel invincible. It's a drug, man. I get it, but you have to think about the long term, because sometimes we're so conditioned to just go, be tough, But once you're out of it and get a second, you'll see there's more to life than wrestling. That's just an aspect.
Right. Absolutely. What's your favorite storyline or feud going on right now in any of the promotions?
Storyline, oddly enough, might be weird. I'm digging Baron Corbin's. It is hilarious to me because it's like a roller coaster. Bro, Baron, it's entertaining. It's entertaining.
The whole him going broke shit was stupid to me.
I dug it.
And now he got his money back and he's a millionaire.
I think the coaster is going up and down. It's entertaining. Feud, it's easily Walter and Dragunov because I love their fights. And the way it's performed and executed and the story they're telling in the ring, it's physical poetry. And I loved it. And the way it was booked, even the finish, because you don't see, the monster heel give up to not even really a submit. It was just masterful storytelling. You beat the hell out of me, I can't accept it, I won't accept it, I'm gonna give everything, I don't care. And the heel is just this is too much, I can't take it. That's beautiful storytelling that you don't get the opportunity to see because people are scared of looking weak and all this other personality. It's the story. That didn't make Walter look any weaker. It made Dragunov into a star. And now it's he can do anything. And Walter, if he came and beats him in a year, he's still Walter.
I wish
it was beautiful.
More matches were like that. Generally.
That's not the easiest thing because you gotta put your body on the line.
Please, you just gotta watch all Walter matches because they're all the same.
True. That's the type of form he is.
He is
but
kind of boss,
The thing that worries me is somebody like Walter is a perfect style. He is the perfect wrestler for his style. But the idea that they're revamping NXT, they wouldn't sign somebody like Walter. Walter's not your typical wrestler. He's not muscle bound. He's athletic, but he's not overtly athletic. He's a big dude. He hits hard. It hurts. You're not going to see a 5-star Walter promo. It's not going to happen. But guess what? You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it. So
true. Actually, Booker T mentioned on his podcast recently that Walter doesn't want to work the WWE main roster schedule, and that's kind of the case for a lot of people. I interview a lot of wrestlers who say they don't want to go to WWE for that reason, for one of the few top reasons.
You have to think about it. I had dinner with Kurt Angle, and he said at his peak, he was doing a 300-day-a-year schedule. How do you have a family if you're on the road 300 days a year? You're going to miss birthdays, you're going to miss anniversaries, you're going to miss everything. And then when you do come home maybe once every other week, you're exhausted. You just want to lay down in your bed. But then you have to be super husband, super father, super this. Then people don't understand the cost. Renting cars, meal plans. Wrestlers are athletes, bodybuilders. They're eating, sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day.
Right.
That isn't cheap when you're driving from Pensacola at 3 o'clock in the morning. What are you going to find? Something on the road. Imagine, having takeout food multiple times a week. It's difficult. It's not easy. And then let's say you get a bruised rib on Monday. You still got somewhere to be on Tuesday. You got something to do on Thursday. It doesn't stop. You have to have a certain mindset. It's not easy. You see what they show you, but there's a bunch of stuff behind that. Imagine you got heat with somebody. It's not easy.
Wolfie Chef says, "Who is this asshat who needs the SmackDown lead on his candy ass?" Who are you talking about?
I think a couple of people are trying to call me out in the chat. One of the guys is someone I actually gave an opportunity. Their first match was a handicap match versus me, and I destroyed them, so he still feels the type of way he wants his second coming. But it would be worse. I was nice the first time and just left him sleep in the ring. Next time I'll leave him sleep on the floor, so I don't know why he's still trying to call out, but it is what it is.
Alright, what's your response to that, buddy?
Should be to go to sleep before I put him to sleep. Hashtag Joe.
Joe, oh man, you know what? I love Joe, man, but you could tell he's been gone a while in that match that he had when he won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
You just could see like he's been out of the ring.
Ring rust. It was definitely present. I also think it might be a little fear because he knows who's taking over NXT. So what run is he gonna have? Like with Pritchard and Vince taking over NXT, Joe isn't gonna be the jewel that he is. So it's like winning a title on the last day of a era. It's like you got it, cool. What's the point?
Oh man.
Like when you think of some of the best moments in NXT with their current mental status, do you think those same things will happen?
No, definitely not. I don't know, man. I don't understand why this is even happening. Triple H just got it down packed. He doesn't,
So in my opinion,
Vince needs the main roster together. He must become, trash another group.
So I can get it from a business end. I still disagree, but I get it.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about this before. What NXT was supposed to be is not what NXT is. NXT is supposed to be a developmental brand. NXT as it is today is not. NXT is WWE Indie Fed. That's not the same as developmental. They're trying to turn NXT back into developmental, but they want to develop the stars that they want because it's easier to start somebody from scratch than to take them from something that they know and then teach them the WWE style. If you were starting up your own Fed, it's easier to take somebody who's new and teach them how you want things to do them than to pluck them from somebody somewhere else. Finn Balor is not new. He had a wrestling school out where he lived. You're not going to take him and be like, okay, somebody who's a teacher and teach him, hey, do things this way. You can, but they're still going to have their own set ways. It happens from muscle memory, everything. So I get it. The problem is the product they had worked and fans enjoyed it and loved it. The other problem is as a business, NXT loses money. So if it's not a developmental and making new stars that you want, and it's losing money on a business end, you have to revamp it. As a performer and as a fan, all you have to do is take what works here and translate it over to the main roster. Unfortunately, when you think this is developmental, you don't count developmental. The same thing, when you first go pro, anything you did beforehand doesn't matter. It doesn't mean it. When you start pro, it's day one. There's people who have been wrestling for years. They show up to pro. What do you know? You know? Yeah, you know? Okay, let's see. And none of it matters. So I get it. It's just two sides need to unite, but they're just very different. But at the end of the day, you have to listen to the person with the money. Vince is the person with the money. He has the final say-so. You can't argue with that. And as much as he gets on our nerves, and some of his decisions make no sense, Vince has made WWE into a $1 billion business. No other wrestling is viewed as a $1 billion business. He has some knowledge of what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
It's just, you can be out of touch. And in wrestling, when something doesn't go well, you blame the top guy. NXT, they thought was going to win the war against AEW, which was stupid. They lost, That's Triple H's baby. We lost. It's your fault. The same way, I hate to bring it up, but back in the day, when Eddie Guerrero was champion, he was that dude. Ratings went down. It's your fault. That's just how wrestling is. If you're the top guy and we don't draw, it's your fault. That's just how it trends. So you have to pay that price.
Yeah, I love how you break it down. It's perfect.
That's the business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right or wrong. That's how it's been. It's not going to change today. It's not going to change tomorrow.
Us who are not, inside the business or wrestling, we think with our fan caps. So we don't always look at the grand picture, but there you go. We couldn't have said it any better. Broke it down for you there.
Okay, I see a nice comment. I love these. It's like Wolf Chef Goddess. I don't know who worse, either listening to this guy interview or watching Mikey attempting to wrestle. I love trolls.
He's a big troll.
No, it's great. I would love to see him wrestle. Oh, is he wrestling? No, doesn't seem like it. Is anybody paying or watching him interview? No. I don't see it. Doesn't seem like it. Nobody's watching him attempt to wrestle. Nobody's wanting to listen to him interview. So I guess which is worse? It's you, sir. It's you. But have a nice day. Love you.
Hello. I should try, Wolfie. How's everybody else feeling? You guys are quiet. Let me see.
Mike, you said protect your neck. Yes, sir, I will protect my neck, and you make sure to remember to tuck your neck when you take a bump. So when I throw you overhead and you land, make sure you tuck your neck so your concussion isn't as bad. Mr. Private Party says, I owe him a match. Anytime, man, you let me know. Time, place, I'll be there. I gladly accept my invitation to the party.
You know what I'm saying? And, I'm still doing baby steps. You know what I'm
And what about you, Goddess? What feud are you feeling right now? Or, what's really getting your gumption? What's getting you going in wrestling right now?
Well, only the few people that I know that actually like John Moxley. I feel like his little showdown with Satoshi is gonna be cool. I'm with it. I used to be utterly disgusted by Roman Reigns, and now I'm totally into his gimmick. I won't say I turned into a fan, but I'm with the direction it's going.
Are you acknowledging the tribal chief?
I don't know about that head on the table shit, but I'll say that it's about time we turn heel.
Since he finds a way to get what he wants, he wanted Roman Reigns over. It took forever, but he got over. It's money. It makes sense. The bloodline.
That's why I had to rinse right there, because everyone was slapping him in the face with it for years, and it just took to, I don't know, he said 2021, let's just do it.
He said, let's just do it, and you put Paul Heyman with them.
It was his idea, because he does that too.
Yeah. It just works.
Reports of this type of behavior from him.
I also like that they're not scripting him so much. It is difficult because you want things done a certain way, and I get that. And then you have two opposites. You either let the patients run the asylum, and then you can run into platinum Max Caster situations. Did you hear about that? Like, you can run into that, which is one end of the spectrum, or then you can overscript people and then they say things that nobody would say. So you definitely have to find a middle point, but the fact that they're just letting Reigns go out there and just do him, it just works. It just comes across. It's organic, and that's what fans like to see. They don't want to see it too organic, too like cookie cutter, and we're saying the same thing and stupid verbiages that nobody would say. But you don't want to be too wild and just say whatever, and then you have people who can't talk, talking too much,
Right.
or say things, and now your show's canceled. So you have to find that middle point. But sometimes just giving somebody bullet points and just letting them go, let them do their thing. But then on the opposite end, there's such thing as being a good wrestler without a great promo.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. You know what I'm excited to see him hopeful. I don't know how much of a fan. I'm a huge Okada fan. I think that boy good. That boy good. I'm interested to see if he interacts with AEW. If he does, I might have to take an AEW contract. I might have to use some of my connections to get over there, because Okada, the presentations, the matches he puts in, bro.
New Japan is a whole nother level.
Whole nother can of worms, but I dig it. The long-term booking and some of the talent in there are big. I love it.
One of the best promotions out there.
Easily. It took time.
If I was a wrestler, I would want to train in Japan.
I don't know why you wouldn't. It's just, it adds value. It makes you look legitimate.
Epitome of training.
What's your opinion of Suzuki? I call him Shark, but Minoru Suzuki? Bro, his gimmick is, if you fight him, you might die. That's his whole gimmick.
And
he might kill you.
You want to feel that energy. That's great.
But it works because you're going to pay attention. The same thing. That aura, that mysticism. Like when you watch a Walter match, it's gonna hurt. There's value to that. Like, sure, everybody can't do it, right? Because people gotta wrestle again tomorrow. Right? I get that.
Motherfuckers going against Walter is gonna be a good match. When you hear Walter, you're like, yup, that's gonna be the match.
That's it. But there's value in that.
Match, but I knew that Walter's match, and it didn't let me down.
It didn't disappoint.
That was the best match of that night.
Yeah, definitely.
Another thing is that WWE was under the impression that Adam Cole was gonna resign, and it looks very much.
He didn't.
He's not. And it would make sense that he would join his wife in AEW, so
of course.
It's gonna happen anytime now. Because
we'll see.
Signed his contract for the pay-per-view, but it didn't go any farther than that night, so.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, I'm so sorry.
Okay. No, Vince is gonna be tight about that one.
Definitely.
You see the reputation that the main roster is getting now. Like nobody wants to move up. Dude, that doesn't make you feel any type of way, right? What's up, Howlin' Wolf? J Styles, Art. What's up, guys? We're just talking wrestling, current events, the loss of Daphne. My co-host stepped out for a second. What's up, guys? We're just talking about wrestling, guys. If you have any questions, comments.
That lighting could be a little bit better. Beautiful. Again, we're open to any questions and comments, anything like that. Now, I want to actually talk to you about something that might be a little controversial. I think eventually, I'm not sure who my partner would be, But I know somebody special to you just got back reacquainted with the ring, and it has my interest peaked because I know he's good on the mic. He's getting back in ring shape. Might have to see a dragon versus an absolute one of these days. It might have to happen.
That'll be dope. He definitely coming off of his injury. He's doing a lot better now. He's been training again. He's losing weight and stuff, and make it known. Make it known. We want to see it.
Absolutely. I know what it's like coming back because I had actually got injured in a match a couple of years ago because of a bad ring, and coming back, it's scary, but it's as much as it is physical, it's mental. It's that making sure, it's almost like you're chasing yourself. It's getting back to you thinking you're getting back to that person you were, and it can be tough, but once you adjust and get it, you can be even better than before, and you start relying on things that you didn't have to rely on before. We're not young forever, so we have to adapt and change. And when it happens to you, that's when you see, okay, this is why Austin started doing that, or this is why you gotta give props to Jericho, because look how our age now and how we feel. I can only imagine, being Steamboat's age and still doing, this and things like that. So
I see Jericho now. I mean, at the beginning of AEW, he still seemed, very sprightly. That has changed over the course of the past few months. I just see, oh my gosh, maybe it's time to pack it up.
I agree. I definitely agree, because you're in there with people that it's going to show. It's going to show. You can't hide it. I still have respect for everything that he's doing and all that, but
let's be honest. First of all, I know for a fact, being a weed smoker myself, that he comes out to the ring smashed almost every time. It's all over. Some people, there's no hiding it. For me, that's bad luck. And I'm not judging. Just I personally would have come out to my job looking the way he does. And he's moving the way he does. So it's a double whammy. I don't like it at all. And it's making me dislike watching his matches, which I didn't feel prior, so I don't know. I don't know what's up with him.
Yeah, I think his career is definitely winding down. I think that's why the storyline is working the way it is. I still commend him on everything he was able to accomplish.
He's a goat.
He's a goat. Absolutely. The fact that he got it, just the word it over, bro, a potted plant, bro, goat status. But it's time to sit down. It is. But again, when that's all you know, when that's all you've been doing for 30, 40 years, that's what you know. So it's kind of hard to stop doing what you do. That'd be like telling you stop being a goddess. You're like, how? I am a goddess. You can't just turn it off, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you get to a point you have to, because it's time, because and this really started happening in our generation, because I say the generation of wrestlers before us, they wrestled, then they got into training and then passed it on. But we kind of got more into the digital age, so people were having more access to stuff from older time easier. So the spotlight was just more prevalent. So it became harder to leave. You didn't see guys, generation before. Bruno Sammartino wasn't wrestling in his, later year. That vein, they weren't wrestling as long. But as you start getting more digital and stuff like that, the light was there. It was more prevalent, so it was harder to leave. That makes me scared of the next generation. But, they also have to realize a lot of your older stuff is we don't have to trade tapes to see. We can just type it in and still view. Our memory is going to be longer because we have more access to it. But leaving at the top is important. You don't want to leave and your last game be terrible. You know, Kurt Angle's, again, was the third time I mentioned him. I'm sad that the last match I saw was the match that I saw because I didn't want to remember him like that. You know, I remember Kurt Angle, he was going to go in there and he was going to have to do work. Every single match, he was going to give it to you. But, you know, I'm still happy when he left. I wish it was a little sooner. I'm still happy I got the, last match as the fan, but then you also want that last one to be, you know, good, great.
Yeah.
You know, but it's hard, man, when that's all you know, when that's your bread and butter, but that's how you know, take care of everything. It's hard to walk away. So I get it, but it's something you have to learn to do. I just think people should focus more on stepping back and working on that next generation so that we can have the generation that has respect, because when you have to compete with somebody for a spotlight, as wrestlers we're taught, then you move them out the way.
Absolutely.
And if I got to push you out the way, how much respect am I going to have for you? And I think that was the descent, because the generation before, they beat respect into the next generation. Now we have so many people that have to be my size and still be athletic, or have to be small but still look like Pac and all this other stuff. So it's not as easy to just, you know, smack them around, wash my drawers, rookies. Like, hell no, I'm not doing that. In fact, come see me in the ring, you know. So it's a dissension with that. But if there was a little bit more respect given, there'd be a little bit more respect received, and if you would fall back, we could still honor you and show homage. But I can't show homage if you're still trying to wrestle. Like, I'm battling for you for my spot, but I still also got to show respect. No, can't do it. So
there was a little rumor too about Tessa Blanchard teasing that she's signing with WWE NXT. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Never say never.
I mean, because if they wanted her, they would have been, you know.
That's hard to repackage.
Because of
that's a lot of bad press.
Dishonorably, yeah, exactly. Dishonorably discharged.
From the racist stuff to some of the other stuff that leaked, that's a lot to repackage. That's a lot to hide out. That's a lot of negative press. I don't think you want that type of problem. And then also, athlete, you can't deny, she also has heat with people. She also, is a problem. Why would you want to bring in a problem backstage that's also going to be a problem in front of the camera too?
Right.
I don't see it. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. They brought Hogan back, but Hogan is Hogan. And even when they brought him back, he had some negative press. Hogan got booed, right? So if you saw that, and that was right, and he should be, right, and he should be, right?
For him, come on.
Yeah, and that's Hogan. What they gonna do with this Tessa Blanchard? It's still too early. This digital age, cancel culture. I doubt it. That would be a foolish business move to me. The only way you would do it is if you dove into it. There still is money to be made, but I don't think they're gonna present that type of product. So no, I don't see that. That would be pushing the envelope. If you wanted to do it, you could do it. WWE wouldn't do it. Could AEW do it? Maybe. But I don't think they would want to push the envelope like that. If they brought her in, if I was booking it, and I had to, and I was willing to push the envelope and had an ECW style environment, I'd bring her in. But yeah, I said what I said. You heard what I said. I'm better. Prove me wrong. And people would, you got an instant heel. You got instant people, whatever. You're going to get the heat. We play along with it. And you give her a long-term storyline against somebody like a Naomi or somebody who needs the elevation. And then eventually you get into this person beating the hell out of Tessa. Tessa realizing and gives her come to Jesus moment. I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. I'm the shit. And that's how you tell it. You tell it a storyline to teach them in the ring. Yeah. But the amount of heat and press you have to go through to get there, I don't know if they want that type of headache. There's money, there's value in it. But if you just try to be like, hi, I'm Tessa, I'm sweet, that ain't gonna work. We know you ain't shit. Like, so how do you work with that? So
basically. Oh man. Before we end this, I just got one more thing I wanted to comment on. Is there anything else you wanna speak about?
Nothing big. No questions I'm seeing. Wolf is talking, so again, we can ignore it like everybody else does, including his mother. All right. Yeah, I'm good.
Sorry.
Careful. Maj, if you still trying to wrestle, like, I'm battling for you for my spot, but I still also got to show respect. No. Can't do it, so.
There was a little rumor, too, about Tessa Blanchard teasing that she's signing with Wwe Nxt. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I
don't know.
Never say never.
I mean, because if they wanted her, they would have been, right?
That's hard to repackage.
Because
that's a lot of bad press.
Dishonorably, yeah, exactly. Dishonorably discharged.
From the racist stuff to some of the other stuff that leaked, that's a lot to repackage. That's a lot to hide out. That's a lot of negative press. I don't think you want that type of problem. And then also, athlete, you can't deny, she also has heat with people. She also, is a problem. Why would you want to bring in a problem backstage that's also going to be a problem in front of the camera too?
Right.
I don't see it. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. They brought Hogan back, but Hogan is Hogan. And even when they brought him back, he had some negative press. Hogan got booed, right? So if you saw that, and that was right, and he should be. Right, and he should be, right?
For him, come on.
Yeah, and that's Hogan. What they gonna do with this Tessa Blanchard? It's still too early. This digital age, cancel culture. I doubt it. That would be a foolish business move to me. The only way you would do it is if you dove into it. There still is money to be made, but I don't think they're gonna present that type of product. So no, I don't see that. That would be pushing the envelope. If you wanted to do it, you could do it. WWE wouldn't do it. Could AEW do it? Maybe. But I don't think they would want to push the envelope like that. If they brought her in, if I was booking it and I had to and I was willing to push the envelope and had an ECW style environment, I'd bring her in, be like, yeah, I said what I said. You heard what I said. I'm better. Prove me wrong. And people would, you got an instant heel. You got instant people, whatever. You're going to get the heat. We play along with it. And you give her a long-term storyline against somebody like a Naomi or somebody who needs the elevation. And then eventually you get into this person beating the hell out of Tessa. And Tessa realizing and gives her come to Jesus moment. I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. I'm the shit. And that's how you tell it. You tell it a storyline to teach them in the ring. Yeah. But the amount of heat and press you have to go through to get there, I don't know if they want that type of headache. There's money, there's value in it. But if you just try to be like, hi, I'm Tessa, I'm sweet, that ain't gonna work. We know you ain't shit. So how do you work with that? So
basically. Oh man. Before we end this, I just got one more thing I wanted to comment on. Is there anything else you wanna speak about?
Nothing big. No questions I'm seeing. Wolf is talking, so again, we can ignore it like everybody else does, including his mother. All right. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, careful.
Okay.
See, your setup got so bored by Wolf's calling it fell, see?
Right now. I just wanted to bring up my guy, Malachi Black, a.k.a. Alistair Black. I'm super happy for him that he's feeling better because he did talk about how depressed he was working for WWE and, not being utilized well having done so well in NXT and brought up for nothing, I'm super happy that he's in a better place. And
Definitely.
as far as his wife, I just think money talks, and
money talk. Listen,
and it's not
gonna.
I don't see her being happy there long, but whatever.
No. I was speaking with Tyler Breeze, who's just an awesome guy, and somebody was talking about how unutilized he was, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm so sad. I just bought my third house. I'm opening my wrestling school. Me and my girl are doing so well. I'm doing so bad." Right. There's another aspect to it, and I think she's going after the bag. I think they bamboozled her a little bit. I think she was trying to pay your bills. Do what you got to do.
I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here.
It's all good. It's all that wolf guy's fault.
I didn't even. I'm about to as soon as we done here right now. But I want to thank everybody for joining us and being here. As always, Black Dragon, please do join us again. And thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I love getting your perspective. I love the way, you word everything and you break it down for us. I appreciate that.
Anytime. Shout out to Dillinger. I see you join. You've been ducking me for years. All right, but thanks for having me.
We got some call-outs for this session.
That's what I do. That's how I keep myself entertained. Thank you for having me. It's always an honor to be in the presence of a goddess.
Thank you. And please do subscribe to BMF Goddess on YouTube. I am the only one. Just search BMF Goddess. This will be on YouTube next week. May the force be with you.